Dan Hooker, guys, suffered a really, I'll say, disappointing defeat at UFC Fight Night London against Arnold Allen, guys. This was his, what is it? His featherweight debut. And I mean, I just really do feel bad for Dan Hooker, guys. He's a fighter that I'm a fan of, but he's just in a similar boat now as Cody Garbrandt, as a Darren Till, someone who has so much potential, but for some reason, they lose one fight and they just get into a slump where they just can't seem to find their footing, and it's the most disappointing thing, because Dan Hooker in the light heavyweight division was on a tear for a little bit. He had that fight of the year, with Dustin Poirier. But then, guys, he gets knocked out by Michael Chandler. He goes and then loses to Islam, Then he goes and it just nothing is going his way, guys. Knocked out by Chandler, gets submitted by Islam, decides to say, hey, maybe I can drop weight to featherweight, only to go, guys, and get absolutely pretty much pieced apart. He pretty much got demolished, guys. I thought this fight probably should have been called a lot earlier than it was. I mean, Hooker was getting pieced apart. I know a lot of people on Twitter were pretty much saying, like, hey, that weight cut really takes away from your ability to take a hard shot. When you cut weight, your chin isn't as good as it was before, And yeah, that kind of looked like it was the case, guys, because Hooker got pieced apart. I mean, the initial exchanges were okay, but Allen just hit him with some clean combinations, and it was really just, Hooker shelling up. And I mean, one thing I will say is that Dan Hooker has a ton of heart, he does, because he kept fighting. I mean, he kept fighting even when he was getting pieced apart in this fight. I thought the fight should have ended a lot earlier, but I mean, yeah, no, it's just disappointing, guys. And now this really just kind of poses a question of, where does Dan Hooker go from here? I mean, does he go back to light heavyweight division? Does he move back up to his weight? Does he stay in featherweight? I mean, I doubt after a performance like that he'll stay in featherweight. I mean, he just absolutely got pieced apart. I don't know. It's genuinely tough, and I don't have an answer. I mean, I think he should go back to light heavyweight division, or even take some time off. Take some time off, do a little bit of a Darren Till, go into the lab, and really hone your skills. Take a break, and then come back, a different fighter, because something is just not right with Dan Hooker. I don't think his skills diminish. I think it's just a mental block, like some fighters, when they lose and they get into a slump, they just can't get out of it, and it's like, they just not the same fighter as they were before. And again, guys, it's just so sad that it happened to a great fighter like Dan Hooker. And even the same thing with Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt dropped in weight and got TKO'd. I mean, literally the same exact situation with Dan Hooker. I think Dan Hooker should just go take some time off and then come back in a year and a half. Some people said to retire. I wouldn't say retire yet. Cody Garbrandt should probably retire. I mean, he's his streak is even worse than Dan Hooker. I think Dan Hooker still can be redeemed. He just needs to take some time off, come back a different fighter, and we'll see where he ends up. But again, guys, really crushing defeat tonight for Hooker. And yeah, guys, so those are a little bit of my thoughts. Let me know what you think Hooker should do. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching this video, and subscribe here for more videos like this in the future.